So, Pretty Face was a thing, and it was hilarious. Pretty Face was a manga that ran 6 volumes from May 2002 to June 2003 and was created by Yasuhiro Kano. Pretty Face is one of the most absurd manga ideas I've ever encountered, even more bizarre than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The main concept of the story is about Masashi Rando, a high school student with a hot head. Rando is a real gangster type that prefers to talk with his fist and is a total moron. Rando's the head of the karate club and is surrounded by his underlings at all times. Rando has a crush on one of his classmates, Rina Kurumi, a shy bookworm type who he's never even talked to. Guess he got inspired by my way of getting the girls. Pretty Face kicks off with Rando getting in a bus crash and seriously destroying his body. Rando ends up looking like he tried to become the Joker but didn't realize that's a stupid idea. With his face so messed up and his doctor only having the picture of Rando kept with him, he decides to reconstruct his face and body with that photo. This is where the series gets its title and craziness. Rando's doctor, Dr. Manabe, is a kooky mad scientist who follows the old otaku saying, if you can't have an anime waifu, make the waifu. So, Dr. Manabe always tries to make Rando an even cuter and womanly girl, making him a true American hero. Dr. Manabe gives Rando the face of his crush Rina, which is a huge problem for Rando because he still has junk, which apparently, if you still have, a doctor will give you the face of the girl you want to date. I never knew that before, but I'm glad I do now. So, when Rando leaves the hospital of his year-long coma, he comes to find that everyone thought he was dead and his parents moved away. They probably knew he was alive, but just couldn't handle his shit anymore. Rando ends up without a home and without an identity when he runs into his crush Rina. At this point, Rando comes to learn that Rina had a twin sister that ran away. And he finds this out because she thinks Rando is her sister. It's obviously weird for a guy to be wearing the face of someone else, so Rando takes care of that real quick by saying he is her sister. Now, I know what you're thinking, that Rando's going to move in with her and that's creepy. But it's okay because Rando's in love with her, which makes it 100% not creepy at all. That's the setup for the story, Rando living with Rina, trying not to get caught until Rina's sister Yuna comes back so he can go, while also trying to start a new life because he sucked before. When I first learned about Pretty Face, I was in a small anime shop and the owner told me about it and told me it was hilarious, and she was nice enough to lend me her copy for a read, and I loved it. Unfortunately, they were very rare and I've only seen them at Akon and the small stores that sell old manga. I have all but the 4th volume, showing that even I can't get them all, so if you see one you should definitely pick it up because it's a gem. My favorite character by far is Dr. Manabe. He is basically the equivalent of a full-on cartoon character. He's always pushing Rando to get a full-on sex change, and the only reason for that is to keep the Trap Nation growing. Dr. Manabe is the type of guy to let Rando think he's in trouble and not tell him he could help until the last minute. He also lets Randy get in trouble as long as he can push his agenda on Rando. But after every one of Dr. Manabe's schemes, Rando and Dr. Manabe make up by Rando kicking the living shit out of him. Rando is the type of guy who always gets himself into predicaments and solves them the same way every time, with 12th grade calculus. No, actually, he uses his fist to kick the crap out of every person who crosses him, but sometimes that bites him in the butt. Actually, most of the time that kicks him in the butt, but sometimes it helps him out, like when he beat up the judo and karate club at the same time, which is a totally normal thing to do for a high schooler. Rina is a sweet, innocent girl type, which makes it even creepier that Rando is pretending to be her sister. So, her only way back to getting him is telling her sister, who is Rando, that she always had a crush on Rando before he died, which is the most ironic thing to ever happen to Rando, and as soon as he figures that out, he immediately wants to die! Rina cares for her sister, who is actually Rando, more than anything in the world, which is why Rando stays with her until Yuna comes back. Yuna ran away from her family because she wanted to go to beauty school, and is still out there somewhere, and that's the entirety of her character. Pretty Face is really funny. Some of the best gags are found in the 1st volume, and when Rando puts on fake boobs, but then finds out they won't come off for a day, and when Rando has to stop the judo and karate club from fighting. Anyone who picks it up will have a good laugh, so if you like wacky comedy, I suggest you give it a read. And hey, if you don't, still read it anyways, because it's really good. So, that's Pretty Face, one of the oddest mangas out there. It's a non-stop laugh roller coaster. I would recommend it to any of the following manga lovers: comedy, romantic, early 2000s, wacky, and those who are just curious. I rate this manga a solid 7 out of 10. This video is a test for more videos like this, so if you liked this video, please leave a comment on what you liked and didn't like. I am currently taking art commissions on Fiverr with the username FancyGuyEnrique. If you want to check out my skill, feel free to check out my art on my Instagram at Eric_Unra. Thank you all for watching. I'm Fancy Guy Enrique. Stay weird, otakus.